it. But they're fucking winning every week.
Absolutely. Well, Davey, I've just gone live. I've got 14 people waiting for us already, man.
Good evening, everybody.
14 people waiting for us already. That's mental.
Good, man.
Oh, dear me.
Just me and you on.
Hey?
Because the now there's just me and you on.
Ah, you know. Oh, right. I'll just make sure we're getting Davey on the thingy here. Hold on. He should be on here. So make sure we get everything set up right. Ah, that should be it. Davey should be coming on in a minute. Right, Davey. So, hello, welcome to the MACKEM CABBIE and Davey show. How are you doing, Davey? You all right, mate?
I'm champion, son.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. Straight away with a message. Packer Andrew, hello. He says, hi, CABBIE Davey. Hope you had a good day. Hard lines for the cup on Saturday. But look at this way. We can concentrate on the league now. That's the main thing. No surprise there with the result against Stoke, was there, Dave?
Nah, not really. But they should have won it, though. It was very similar to the Stoke game away. Chance after chance. And if you didn't take your chances, you're always susceptible to the sucker punch, aren't you? And that's exactly what it was.
Aye, we are.
Careless pass by that new bloke. Dan Neil should have just lashed it. But he shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been playing centre-half, should he?
Why not? Why not? Dan Neil's had a bit of a slating and stuff. It's like, how weird, man. Leave the lad alone. It's like he's in the wrong place. I mean, for what that lad's done in the league, honestly, they need to give their heads a shake, man.
And he played the 120 minutes.
Yes, absolutely. As the game itself, I thought it was a slow start by Sunderland, but they got into the game, didn't they, as the game went on? Right. And I still thought Sunderland were miles the better side, but once again, and you classified this on today on Total Sport, Davey, it's a major concern that we're getting that many chances and we're not putting them away.
Yeah. I mean, that Adil Ashish he looks great on the ball, doesn't he? And he's in player all the time, and he's on the end of everything. But there's never an outcome, is there?
No, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's no.
Either there's a shot over the bar, or it's a powder puff shot. That's all you ever get.
Yeah, there isn't a shot with conviction, is there? Or you know. Nah. Just going to quickly say hello to people in the chat. Stephen Martin says hi, guys. David Scott says hi, lads. Jim N says hi, CABBIE and Davey. Dave Walker says hi, CABBIE and Davey. Was shocked that Regis Labrie risked 5 first teamers on Saturday. Bad injury for Alessi, which we'll get on to later. He says hello, Stoke or Thug, says Janet. William Babbitt says evening, people. And David Joblin is in the chat. So hello, everybody in the chat already. Good to see you all. But I mean, I listened to the headlines. Good evening, Stuart and Davey, says Dave. Good evening to you, mate. I was listening to the highlights on Total Sport, and it's just the same scenario. It's all full of oohs and ahs and over the bar and ifs and buts. Plenty of chances. That's got to change, Dave.
Well,
that's got to change.
It was in the Championship because when you play when we're playing Stoke and them sort of teams and Portsmouth, you're getting 20, 25 efforts a goal. You'll not get that many efforts against Burnley and Leeds.
You'd be lucky if you get 3 or 4.
Exactly, so you've got to take your chances.
Very similar to Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. 2 or 3 chances, including a penalty. We didn't put it away, and we suffered. Do you know what I mean? And I do agree with you about Mienda. Like, it's like, look, I really wanted to work out for him, but it's.
I love his effort. I love his attitude. I love everything about him, but he just hasn't got an eye for a goal.
It's like you need 17 chances to get a goal.
Aye.
You know?
I mean, that one when he was one-on-one with a keeper, Yellowbird is on Total Sport.
Mm-hmm.
He come in from the right.
Mm-hmm.
He's one-on-one with a keeper. He's left-footed. he closes the angle down on his right-hand side, takes the shot with his right foot, and it gets closed down. Why didn't he pull his body round and clip it in with his left? He's left-footed. I cannot understand him.
He always seems to choose the harder option of the two, doesn't he?
It seems like he forgets what footed he is.
Yes.
And it's too late to think, oh shit, I'm having a shot with me right, but I'm left-footed. Oh, it's too late. That's not good. You'll not see a Leeds striker or a Burnley striker miss them chances, will you?
Well, you cannot. No. And it's... We all know. I mean, look, we've got... what's his name? Renz Lafay coming in, but we don't know what he's like. I still think Sunderland need a vast experienced striker up there. Because...
Yeah, well, it looks promising with Connolly going, doesn't it? They must have somebody else lined up. They must have.
Connolly, if anybody doesn't know, that he looks like he's going to go to Millwall. He seems a great lad, Connolly, but it's down to business. And as far as I'm concerned, he just doesn't do an out for me. Like,
he isn't what we want, Cabbie. We haven't got the time for him to get his game time in and start to progress. We just haven't got the time for somebody like that.
No, we need a bit like a MACKEM. We need someone instant.
Yeah, up and running
straight away, and none of this. So he needs about 5 or 6 games to hit the ground running. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
you would expect this lad to be up and running. He's played 200 games.
Aye.
He's not a kid. He's not a young kid, inexperienced. He's very experienced. He's played 200 games at the highest level. I've got really, really, hopes for him. He could, like I said on Total Sport, he could be our gold. He could be our Ahmad this season, couldn't he?
Absolutely massive. And as much as I would like it to happen for Miyenda, I've seen enough of him for me to say, like, not this season. He's not gonna be reliable enough to get us over the line to get us into the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? And
no,
you
could. I mean, God forbid, Cabbie, if January comes and goes, and anything happened to Isidore, we might not even make the playoffs. Do you know that? Because we'll not get the goals to get us in there.
Well, that's absolutely vital. I mean, that's why we need a backup. We need that striker with Isidore, because the way our injuries are gone, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. No. And we've gotten out. I mean, imagine having to rely on Ashish and Miyenda up front for the rest of the season.
And
Rusin. Come off it.
Oh, yeah. We've got no hope at all.
We're lucky if we see 1 goal a month.
Right.
I'm not trying to be nasty.
For me, they've got to do what they've done with that midfield player, Enzo Lafay. Push the boat out, get somebody in, up and running, and a young boy to be on the bench.
Yes.
They need somebody in now to replace me. And I'm sorry. I mean, the kid's giving his best. He's a good prospect. He's only 19-year-old, but he isn't what we need today.
Do you think he needs more time in the under-21s?
More time. He needs more time in a side that's not going for the top 2.
Send him on loan, do you think?
No, I would keep him, but I would have him on the bench. But we've got him as a first teamer. He shouldn't be a first teamer at the minute. He should be on the bench, and he should be coming on at the later stages of the game and showing his pace and power. But we're relying on him as our main striker, and it's no good.
No.
It's too early for him.
It is. Davey, I'm going to catch up on the chat. We've got 46 people in already, which is massive. Massive.
Ask them what they think about the Miyenda situation.
Well, Davey's just asked that question. Davey says, right, this is going to the chat. What do you lot think of Miyenda? Do you think it would be dangerous to rely on Miyenda purely to get us the goals, or do you think he's just not cutting the mustard? We need to do something different. Janet says, hello, Stalker Thoves. William Babbitt says, evening, people. Andrew Moore says, hello, fellas. Brian Hughes, hello Brian, says definitely need a strong striker with a decent shot on him. Gary Hoyle says, evening lads, playing Stoke has always been underwhelming. It's always been one of those non-plus games over the years. David Walker says, we can't afford to miss any chances against Burnley.
No.
Telly says, think Connolly move is the best for him, to be honest. We need to get it right if we're going to progress. And let's be honest with you, Connolly wasn't really getting enough game time what he wanted at Sunderland. We just didn't really think anything of him player-wise. He didn't fancy him at all putting him on, did he? He just wasn't keen on putting him on. And I think he'd get more game time at Millwall. I think that's why he's going to go. Stephen Martin, hello Stephen, says it's time to change or we won't get promoted. David Scott says the team who scores first on Friday will win.
Yeah, I think that now.
Gordon Loughton, hello Gordon. Evening lads, great show. We all talk about Mendes finishing, which I agree with, but he's good for Wilson up front with his pace. What about Roberts finishing? He's worse. I presume he's on about Patrick Roberts.
Yeah.
David Davies says, also do need a better defence. Not good enough. Stephen Martin says, I say the same thing. He's not good enough. Dougie Stewart says, hi, Cabbie and Davey. Andrew Moore says, Meander, wasn't he thrown into the side because of injuries? A lot of pressure at short notice for him to step up every week. Davey's right. He needs game time from the bench, though. So a lot of good comments from everybody in the chat. But yeah, I mean, we've been playing all right in the league, like you say, and I'm not taking too much notice in the FA Cup, but it's Colin Majors just joined. Hello, Colin.
Colin.
He says Meander is like a wet fart. That's Colin Majors' first contribution to the show tonight. I know it's every time you see Meander going and you see that chance, you're just waiting for the crowd to say get in, and you think like, how the hell's he made that harder for him what it should be?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like as you said, he seems to take it on his weaker foot. And have you noticed he loves to hit the side netting, doesn't he? He loves to go round and
he's very like inexperienced, isn't he? It shows.
But that goal against Sheffield United, it was lovely.
Aye.
When he took that touchdown and he showed composure.
First touch, shot composure, and done the right thing. Got it on his left foot and clipped it in.
You know, so he's got it. He's got it to do it.
But he hasn't played enough to have the confidence to just doing it without thinking, which is what an experienced striker does.
He freezes in front of the goal, doesn't he?
Aye, which is understandable. He's only 19.
Aye.
But if he's what we're putting forward as the answer, we'll get a shock because
absolutely.
Whoever plays these last 20 games, Cabbie, has got to score about 10 goals to get us up.
Oh, it's a must.
Can you see him scoring 10 goals from now to the end of the season? I can't.
Look, if he gets one.
I know, but there you go. Well, that's no good, is it? We need somebody to come in who's up and running, i.e. that lad from Stoke, who's fit, ready to play, and has got an eye for a goal.
I do see one of the chaps in the chat said like he's good for Wilson Isidore on away. Like he seems to lay some good balls and some good passes, which he does it really well. But I think we're talking about, aren't we, relying on him as the number one striker is just not going to work. Ideal come on the bench with 10 minutes to go, and in that way there might not be as much pressure on the lad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I understand what people saying that he makes Isidore look a better player. But if Isidore's having an off day, we're knackered.
We have. And he does get them. Every player does.
Right.
And how many times did we see it when Isidore was off the ball, we weren't scoring?
Yeah, aye.
Because Roberts is off the ball, as somebody said in the chat.
I mean, I'm on about my ender and that, right? I don't think he'll play on Friday anyway, do you?
No. I
don't think we'll play 2 up front against Burnley.
It's going to catch up on the chat again, Davey.
Yeah.
Telly says, 09 is a ticking time bomb at the moment. He needs to settle down. He's getting carried away with his game playing. Do you agree with that? Do you think he's getting a bit sort of unreliable at the back?
Well, I don't blame 09 for Saturday, like.
Oh, no.
Dan Neil, that was a terrible back pass by Dan Neil, and that goal kick should never have knocked the ball to Luke 09.
I don't know what on earth we were doing.
He should have just put his foot through it.
Yeah.
The first 2 minutes of the game, just put your foot through it, man.
How many times do we see that? Just clear the ball up. If you've whacked the ball 60, 70 yards up to the end of the field, it's not in danger, is it? To you?
No.
It's at the other end.
You get yourself back organised again.
I cannot understand if you're not confident in passing it around in your own box or out like that, then just get rid of the bloody thing. Time and time again. We've got 60 people now in the chat tonight. That's a record. So hello to 60 people. We've never had 60 in watching on the show. So,
well, I wonder why.
All here to see Davey, man. Anyway, Gary Hoyle says...
Tell them to hoist some questions out at us.
Hey?
Tell them to hoist some questions out at us.
There's loads coming in. Loads. Stephen Martin says we need 2 rock-solid defenders. Gary Hoyle, he says, yes, we need a seasoned striker, but all the players we've been touted with are fringe players. The Premier League want rid of for loan deals, not permanent contracts. Kevin Ware, I don't know who he is, but he's in the chat. He's just come in. Do you know who he is?
Who?
Kevin Ware.
Aye, that's me, son.
Hello, Kevin. He says, we will go back to 1 up front now Lafay is here.
Yeah. I don't think he'll play on Friday either.
Lafay?
Nah, I think he'll start on the bench.
What position is Lafay?
He's a 6, 8 or a 10.
Right.
So I think he'll play. I think he'll play in Chris Riggs' place, but not Friday.
Because I've heard a few Sunderland fans saying he's a striker. He's not a striker, Dave.
No, definitely not a striker. He's only 4'6", man.
He's not a striker. Davey Ekar, I think his name is. Do you not think we're putting a lot of hype on Lafay? The boy's going to have to hit the ground running. I mean, why do you think there's been so much hype and excitement of this signing? Is it because we've done it so quick? Is it because he is just a quality player? What do you think it is?
It's a huge signing for Sunderland, and when you look at his statistics and his record, he's absolutely fantastic. He was one of the best players in France 2 seasons ago. There was only Kylian Mbappe and somebody else above him.
And I can see where Davey's coming from. It's like, we're getting a lot of hype and things like that. I don't think we're going to put pressure on him because this guy, he's experienced, isn't he?
Right. He's not a kid.
He's not a kid. Colin Major says, Meander just needs more time to build. He says, has confidence, but I don't know whether with the first team. D. Hall says, Leicester City manager Ruud van Nistelrooy has admitted that there are decisions to be made over the future of loanee striker Tom Cannon, amid reports transfer interest from Sunderland. And of course, Sunderland were interested in possibly getting Cannon last season. What do you think of that? Do you think Cannon's worth a shout? He certainly knows where the goal is against Sunderland, doesn't he? Yeah,
he's definitely worth a shout. If he had the chances Meander has, he would score more goals. No doubt about it.
Aye. How old is he?
And I would expect us to be creating more better chances when Lafay gets Cannon.
Absolutely. And do you think...
when you look at these YouTube pictures, the amount of chances he puts on the plate for people is unbelievable.
And do you think Meander's going to put all them away?
No, that's what will frustrate him, wouldn't it?
I know that. I know.
That's what I'm worried about. That Lafay gets frustrated at all the chances we're missing.
How old's Tom Cannon?
Ooh, I want to say 20, 21,
20?
22 maximum. Somebody will tell us.
Packer Andrew says Mienda was slated, but look now what he's doing. I still think he should be on the bench, though. We need to freshen up the team, and that's just my opinion. Hall says, over the weekend, it was confirmed that Stoke had made the decision to recall teenage striker Nathan Law from a loan spell at Walsall. So cheers for all these little posts, folks. SJ, hello SJ. Wouldn't mind that Diaz, but he has now gone to Sheffield United. That has been confirmed because he's holding a Sheffield United shirt up.
Where's that? When's that?
That Diaz player, he's...
When did he get his shirt hanging up?
I seen it on the News and Banter page today.
That's the last time he played for them last season, that's why.
I don't know.
That's just off last season when he's got the strip on.
Oh, is that what? So he's not gone yet?
No, not at 7 o'clock, no, 8 o'clock when I come in here. Yeah.
Right. But do we really want to chase a player that's already saying that he prefers Sheffield United? You're not going to chase him, are you?
I'd rather have Cannon than Diaz. Diaz is a bit of a hothead, like.
Derek UK, hello Derek. He says, hi Stu and Davey. Are you still taking live calls? I've got plenty to say. Well, jump on the chat, mate. You're welcome to come on Discord and join us, Derek.
Yeah, come on.
Absolutely.
Everybody's welcome.
Absolutely.
Just about everybody.
Aye. Gordon Loughton, hello Gordon. He says, here's a question, lads. Right? He says, do you think we'll play? Do you think we'll play in our midfield on Friday? Here's a question, lads. Who do you think will play in our midfield on Friday? Potential.
I think we'll be back to the tried and tested.
The tried and tested.
Neil, Job, and Rig.
No wrong with that selection, is there?
That's the team I think he'd gone for. Because it's strange he brought Rig off after an hour, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
And, I think we'll go like them three, and then the three up front will be Roberts on the right. Obviously Isidore up front, and then on the left, I'm not sure.
And of course, did Rig get a yellow card against Stoke? He did, didn't he?
Aye.
So if he'd have got sent off, he would have missed the Burnley game.
No, I don't think so. Different rules for cups, isn't there?
I don't think it applies. I think red cards, no. Yellow cards, if people want to correct me in the chat, but am I right? When it's an FA Cup game, the yellow card doesn't affect you missing the next league game, but if you get sent off, it does.
All right.
So if you get a yellow card, it doesn't, but if you get a red card, you miss the next match, I think. Anybody, if I'm wrong, let me know, but I'm sure that is it. Liv Athen add Mienda will be a good striker in a couple of seasons, but we want promotion now, he says. That's what we've just said. Hello to Dortmund. He says, would love to see Lafay play on Friday, but very rarely when you've just signed a player, he starts, does he?
No.
Very rarely.
Well, he's trying to train with the players, get to know the players, but you never know. They might just spring a surprise and play him on the left instead of De La Sheesh.
Pixelvich, hello Pixel, who's a regular, comes on. He says, hi lads, just got tuned in. Andrew Mewett, he says, Lafay is an attack-minded mid, seems very versatile and has been playing as a number 10 in formations where they've got two of them, he says. His passing and pace is better than anyone we already have. But he must be fast because I tell you what, Isidore's quick.
No, he's fast.
Dave Walker says, yes, Tom Cannon is 22. Gary Hoyle's got a half-time scores. Millwall 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, and that's half time. David Scott says, do you think we need 2 wingers and a striker? Or what positions do you think we need?
No, we didn't need wingers, do I? I would imagine Mundle must be back in a couple of weeks. Got to be, or else he mustn't be coming back. It's been the longest hamstring injury I've ever known, this.
It has mine, hasn't it?
Didn't we? You know when we get a groin strain or a hamstring, they're always months rather than weeks, aren't they?
Wonder why that is. Do you think it's the cold wind off the North Sea that delays the recovery process?
Just tax the ages. I think we need a left back after Saturday because it looks like at least he's out for the season, doesn't it?
It does, I seen him when he... I didn't have to wait for any reports. No. I could see him by his reactions. He lay down on the ground. He pulled his top over his face. He looked as if he was sobbing. He looked as if he was sobbing. And that to me tells you straight away, I don't think I'll be playing this season.
They know the season ending, didn't they?
Aye. Because he was doing well and all, wasn't he?
Aye. But we cannot rely on Serkin being fit for the next 20 games, can we? So we're going to need a left back.
I know. And Serkin's not been at his best.
No.
Let's not forget.
Johnson's just gone out on loan tonight, you know.
Who?
Zach Johnson's gone.
Yes, Notts County.
Yeah. So that's another player short we are now. So we must be bringing some in. We must be.
Did we have a player called Jones who played against Stoke?
Aye.
And he got a real good write-up. He got a real good write-up, apparently.
Aye. He done well, but you could say he wasn't ready. If you know what I mean.
Aye.
He wasn't ready. It was too much of a step for him, like. But he done well.
Telly says Patterson or Moore in goal. It's got to be Pato, hasn't it, Davey?
Oh, without a doubt. He gives me the shivers, that Moore, like, I'm sorry.
It does, doesn't he?
Where he comes storming out. If he'd stopped on his line, that bloke wouldn't have known what to do when he controlled that ball. He just made it easy for him by lying on the floor.
Gary Hoyle says Zach Johnson to Notts County on loan. Yes, that's right, Gary. Kevin Ware says I would play Roberts on left, Rigg on right, and Lefree through the middle.
No.
But we were on fire when we had Mundle on the left and Roberts on the right, weren't we?
Yeah. I don't think Roberts will play on the left. He'll always play on the right, Roberts, always.
Mind you, that's going to be a difference if when Mundle comes back and he's back to the way he was.
Yeah.
He just terrorised the defence, didn't he, Mundle?
Yeah.
And such a big player and all.
I don't think he'll trust Ashish, mind you, on Friday. I don't think he'll trust him against a good side. Because he doesn't get stuck in or track back enough. Not for me.
No. I mean, you can see he's trying. But,
Aye.
like I say...
He hasn't got the strength to play that position.
No.
I mean, look at little Roberts. He's tricky as hell, but he's strong as a bull when he's defending and that, isn't he?
Aye. And don't forget, when are we going to be expecting little Watson back?
Well, he's another couple of weeks yet.
Yeah, that's another one missing.
What did you think of the Salis?
50-50. Good little moments, bad moments.
Aye.
He looked slow at times. He looked as if like he was a yard behind. He didn't seem to read the game well. But
you know who reminded me of?
Who's that?
I hate to see it. Gia Matete.
Matete.
Honestly, that's who he reminds us of. Like buzzing about all over, but not doing out.
The guy we got from Fleetwood.
Gia Matete.
Aye, that's right. But
next Paul Gascoigne. The next Paul Gascoigne.
But we can't be too judgmental on him, can we?
No, it's definitely can't. The kid's never played for 9 months, never kicked a ball.
He's never played. But the daftest thing is, we'll say to him, like, he needs a few games to get settled in, and then it'll be the end of the season.
And we haven't got any. See, we haven't got a few games for people to settle in, learn the language and all that.
No, we haven't.
We need people up and running to go straight either on the bench as cover for Isidore or straight in the team. That's just the situation we're in.
And that's why
I think the club finally realised that at the speed that they've brought Lafay in so quick in the window and a statement signing. I think they realise that.
It has to be, because that's Samed, what do you call him? It's looking to be like a bit of a white elephant, isn't it? It's the fact, like, you know, the season's ticking over really, really quick, and we say we haven't got time to wait for him to bed in 3 or 4 games, you know, and we've only got him on season long loan anyway.
There's only 20 games to go, and he looks like he needs 4 or 5 games to get sorted out.
Aye.
Then he's got to get in the team. Before you know it, there's going to be 10 games left.
But David, we're into the second week of January already.
Yeah.
I
mean, you might be somebody good to have on the bench as cover.
Yeah.
You know, for like later in the game when we're winning 1-0 and Neil's tired or Jobs gets a knock, and somebody to bring on just to settle it down, and because he is an experienced player, he's played in the Champions League.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it wasn't the best of games to bring him on, was it? I mean, nobody in the stadium. I mean, how it's like.
Probably when I was watching the first half, it felt like a League One game. That's the feeling I got. It was like a League One game where neither side could keep the ball.
I don't know. It's just. I mean, I don't want to go off too much on a tangent, like, but I mean, it's just such a shame the way the FA Cup's going, and it's getting worse and worse every year. It'll
get close to where it'll get you down, man.
If it carries on the way it is, I mean, look, Sheffield United's 6,000, right? Yeah. I mean, why? I mean, yes, I could understand times are possibly tough or people haven't got the money. I mean, do the clubs vastly reduce the ticket price to get more people in, or is it just the fact, like, people, there's just too much money to get promotion, and the FA Cup is classed as a hindrance to those teams that want to get promotion, and that's what's putting it to bits.
If you won on Saturday, you got 115,000 away. If we wait for 115,000, we might as well give up, mate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, we're going to catch up on the chat. We now got 71 watching us.
Is that what you normally have, like, Cabbie? I kind of see them figures on here.
Well, we started off with about 10 viewers, and then it went up to an average of about 20 to 30, and then it's gone up to 40, 50, and now it's up on 70. Monday seems to be a popular day. Monday night.
Yeah, SJ's listening, isn't he?
SJ's, yeah. He says,
what's happened to Turkey Teeth's channel? It's never been on for weeks.
I've no idea.
You know that SAFC fans thing?
Aye.
We've never had a podcast on or a match like commentary game or out for weeks.
No idea. It's
SJ's always on.
SJ, well, there we go, Dave. You've already said it.
Yeah.
Jim N says, Mienda is best prospect outside Isidore. Unfair to criticise a 19-year-old whose only other option. He says, we need more experienced striker. Yeah. Let Mienda improve and not expect 10 to 15 goals from him. SJ said...
I'm not criticising Mienda. The kid's doing the best he can. Mm-hmm. But he shouldn't be in that position where we are dependent on him to get us promoted.
Oh, God's sake, no.
Nah, it's unfair on him. He's doing great. He is doing great, but he ain't going to be what we need to get us up.
No. And that, putting him coming up on the bench, might take that huge pressure off him.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And it might make a different player out of him.
Yeah.
You know, because he's going to come on as a sub saying, oh, well, I've got a free hit every time I come on, because if he doesn't score, you can think, well, I've only just come on, really. I've only played 10 minutes. But
yeah,
it's worth giving him a shout that way, I would say. SJ says...
on Friday.
No.
I might be wrong, but I just feel like will not play two up front on Friday. Definitely not.
Cannon SJ says Cannon will have to be signed permanently, and a move will have to be made at the end of Wednesday. Otherwise, he'll stay at Stoke.
Yeah, I heard that his loan will not be cancelled after Wednesday.
That's right. Andrew Moore. Andrew Moore.
Leicester City can bring him back before Wednesday.
Right.
But he's still at Stoke after Wednesday. He's got to stay at Stoke. But Leicester can bring him back tomorrow and then sell him to somebody or loan him out to somebody else. But they have to make a decision by Wednesday.
But he's got to go back to his parent club first.
By Wednesday,
By Wednesday, there we go. I don't think many people know that.
Yeah.
Andrew Moore says, he's only on loan at Stoke now. Leicester not looking to sell. Time will tell. Hajeldi will play left back if needed. Hjelde, his name, should I say. Hjelde. Duns 1966. Hello, Duns, how you doing? He says, Harrison Jones, Sunderland debut. I think he played well. Andrew Moore says, Tommy Watson, not going to be back soon. Derek says, Cabby, how the hell do I get on? I can't just call you on my phone. I don't want to show my face at the moment. Well, you can actually come on to just join the server and just don't turn your camera on.
I don't turn the camera, you can still talk.
You know, like the Yorkshire MACKEM Jacob, when he comes in, he does the same. SJ says Cannon will have been at 3 clubs in a season. He says, and you can't loan that many times apparently. He has to be sold or a move won't happen. Andrew Moose says, type that, just as you asked, Cabby. Pixel Rich says, Davey, you're getting like me. Need a shave.
Aye, I do. Need to get to see the Turks.
Dear. Stephen Martin says, Roker Park Show was a great show, lads. We will be doing another one. We'll do a part 2.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the hour passed like 20 minutes.
It is. You could have a show every month about Roker Park, and you'd still not run out of stories to tell.
No. And isn't it amazing? I've just said to the wife the day, Cabby. Isn't it amazing how you remember every mortal detail of your younger life, but you didn't remember like last month?
I remember the lot. Everything.
I can still smell the school dinners, mate. They had a different smell to everything else. I can still smell that smell.
Aye.
The school dinners was different to any other cafe or restaurant, wasn't it?
Aye, it was mad. The minute the dinner hall opened, you got that smell, didn't you?
Aye.
Unless of course you were on the Nashi, where like if your parents weren't working, you got like a white bag and you got an apple in it, you got a sandwich, a bit of flapjack or something. Nah, I don't know.
At lunch.
Aye, we called it the Nashi. You used to get the mick took out of you. Your parents, you're on the Nashi, look at you and all that. Robbie Hopkins says, give Samed a chance, chaps, and of course we'll absolutely will give him a chance. I don't think he'll start against Burnley, mind, Samed.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Nah. Gary Loughton says, should have played Pavida on Saturday, but he probably pulled his hamstring getting out of his car. Yeah.
He's at the ground, man. He's injured.
He's back from injury, though, isn't he?
He's what?
Is he not back from injury, Pavida?
No, he's injured again. Another 2 or 3 weeks out. Nobody knows how he got injured.
Oh, my God. I've got 80...
Forget about him for the season. Got no chance of getting a run of games out of him. No chance.
82 people now watching. This is incredible.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, lads and lasses.
Thank you all. Absolutely fantastic. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. Give us a like. ALS says, Mark Robbins' comments on the game and the crowd numbers were interesting. I tend to agree with him.
That was more of a dig at the FA Cup, though, wasn't it, than Sunderland?
Aye, it was. I mean, Look, what do you think, Davey? The reason the attendance looks is pathetic. I mean, it doesn't look good for Sunderland, does it, when it shows you these pictures and it's the point in the camera at the stand that was empty.
No, well, that's just been like nasty, isn't it? Doing that.
Aye, because I've seen
if the stand's not open, there's not going to be anybody in it.
No, but most of the media are using that as bait. They're just taking photographs of that, aren't they?
Newcastle fans are showing it on their websites and everything, but that's there was the crowd I expected, about 15,000, 16,000. That's all I expected.
Why do you think, Davey, there's only 15,000?
Well, because people's got to actually go and buy a ticket, haven't they? Well, you've got to think, we've got 32,000 season ticket holders who don't have to go and get a ticket at any game. They've already paid for it.
Oh, right, but the season tickets, that doesn't count FA Cup, does it?
No, so you've physically got to go and get a ticket. It's the time of year. It's horrible weather. You knew he was going to play a patched up side. A lot of people just thought, just watch it on the telly. It was on the telly.
And you can't
it was even on BBC Live. And
you can't even pay on the door.
No, I don't think you can pay on the door. No, you can't. No, it's a cashless stadium. You can't even buy a pie with cash.
Do you think that's a mistake for attendances not doing that though? I mean,
definitely, but it's the rules now. You can't pay on the turnstile because there's no cash accepted in the stadium.
There's no human being behind the turnstile now, is it? It's just a scanner.
No.
Not like
there's a lot of reasons why there's such a small crowd, but put it this way, they'll be there for the next home game. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I know. It's and not just that. No disrespect to Stoke, but it wasn't exactly a tasty tie, was it?
No.
Do you know what I mean? And even if we'd have beat Stoke, we would have only got Cardiff in the next round.
Away.
Away, but the BBC said Stoke were at home. I don't know whether the BBC's made an error.
Did you watch the match on Saturday, Cabbie?
I watched a lot. Watched the whole game. Well, I watched it on the it was
stick.
on the stick on Pastor Alex's stick. It was on Opus 3 Sports or something. I watched it like
ESPN or something.
Aye.
But it was on BBC Red Button, you know.
I believe so, yeah.
So it was there for everybody to watch. So that will knock the attendance, wouldn't it?
Dortmund says, Pavid, I think he pulled it getting into the car garden. Stephen Martin says, charge people £5 and 10 people for cup games. Janet says, Tamworth had some good players. They held off Tottenham right until the end. And that's why I think, right, how cruel it is scrapping the replays. You know,
it's cost them a lot of money, hasn't it?
What I think would possibly help as well, I don't know if you agree with it, would be to get rid of the extra time. So after 90 minutes, just go straight to penalties.
To give them more chance of winning.
Aye, because it's a lottery, Dave. It's 11 human against 11 human people. It's 11 men against 11 men, whatever. Anything can happen in penalties, can't it?
Yeah.
So, because I was listening...
It's a shame they miss out on what the FA Cup is all about, isn't it? The giant killing. They're getting a draw to take Spurs back to their ground, which is what the FA Cup was designed for, wasn't it?
Oh, well, that's why they call it the romance of the FA Cup, isn't it?
Yeah. No, they've lost out on thousands, haven't they?
Pixelvich says, FA Cup was always the big one to play for in the 60s, 70s and 80s. Watched some great games in that era as a young'un in the 90s, 70s final. Leeds, Chelsea, won't forget it. It's all devalued now. Derek says, how do I get in this server? You should just see the MACKEM CABBIE server, Derek, and if you just click on that, in the picture, you should come straight in. Colin Major says, Davey, can you shout "Gordon's alive" really loud from the Flash Gordon film? Do you know what he means there? This is Colin.
I don't know what. I'm not like Colin watching kids programs, man.
Flash Gordon's a proper 80s film.
Is it? That sounds like Colin.
Brian Blessed's in it.
Oh, aye.
And he says, you sound like Brian Blessed. And he says he wants Davey to shout, "Gordon's alive" really loud.
People say I sound like a town crier.
Oh, dear. So, Davey, are you telling Colin to grow up?
Aye. He likes his kids' programs, Colin.
Hey, Colin, I've tried, mate. You never know. Maybe Davey will do it if when we get promoted. How's that for a promise, Davey?
Yeah? I'll do it. I'll do a whole company on that. I'll do a company on our last match of this season. Pick up the championship trophy in a blind blessed mouth.
There we go. Oh, dear. SJ says, you remember your younger days because it was carefree, no bills and no worries.
Yeah. You didn't know what it was then, did you?
No, just something like the duck had on the end of its mouth. That was about it. Jeff says, good evening. Good evening, Jeff. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Colin Major says, Davey, forget about Pavida, full stop.
I have.
Peter Lisbreel says, evening, guys. Jim N says, one-way ticket, Dave. Says, Pavida will be moved on in the summer. But he's got a 3-year contract, 4-year contract, hasn't he?
Yeah, he'll not be so easy to move on, huh?
We'll drop.
Going up for him, do you, Cabbie?
Well, we'll drop the clanger there. Look, I mean, we were warned by supporters. Mind you, he's a sick note Sammy, this Pavida. The Sheffield Wednesday fans were saying he's a good player when he plays. Yeah. I don't know why we didn't listen. And as you said, when he comes on, he just doesn't look fit, does he? No.
Neither does Conley, mind you, does he?
Nah. And didn't Marco say that tonight on the show?
I did. He just looks overweight. He looks uncomfortable, doesn't he, as a footballer?
He hasn't got that. Yeah, he doesn't look athletic, does he?
But he's got like a pigeon chest, doesn't he?
Aye. He's got Isidore, Grease Lightning around the pitch. Connolly sort of slugs around, doesn't he?
And he's another one. He's another one. Doesn't seem to be getting any power on his shots, does he?
No. Nothing. Gary Hoyle says, we used to always get excited about FA Cup third round day. Saturday was just pitiful, lads. Jeff says, Man United totally destroyed the FA Cup. Can you remember that was the year when they didn't want to enter?
No, they didn't enter. Plus, Champions League's destroyed the FA Cup and now.
Oh, aye. Well, put it this way: you don't see the English teams putting a weekend squad out for Champions League games, do you?
No, but they do for the FA Cup.
Aye. Do you know some of my favourite games, and I don't know what it is, but I love watching the non-league grounds on BBC One when it's FA Cup day.
I do.
I love watching it when there's like
Tamworth and Spurs. I thoroughly enjoyed that game.
I know. It's just great seeing the tiny little grounds and the way they've packed the crowd in these little tiny little sort of like little stands and that. There's something really warm and cosy watching it. And, and you can see the little burger stands right behind and stuff. To me, that's what it's about. Like,
I like to see them Premier League defenders getting roughed about off these non-league centre forwards.
That's right. Aye.
They just got storming into them, did that?
Well, they reckon the Spurs manager Postecoglou and the players were spot on at full time. They reckon they walked around the whole of the pitch and they were shaking and greeting all the Tamworth fans. Even the Spurs manager, so they got a lot of praise for doing that. They really made the fans' day, because let's face it, they took Spurs 0-0 full 90 minutes.
They nearly won it 3 times in that last few minutes.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get his foot on the ball properly, did he?
Yeah.
John Arnold says, good evening, lads. I can't believe they paraded Enzo on Saturday. It was a bit of an embarrassment. Do you think that was the case?
They had to do it though, didn't they?
Aye. They would have told him, they would have said, look at Enzo, we're going to take you to the ground, but it's a game here, that doesn't mean anything. There's nobody in the stadium.
You'll see a difference on Friday night when we've got, I don't know how many we've got there, but we'll have sold it out.
Jonathan Arnold says on as well, he says, if I could have got my seat, I would have gone. One-way tickets, Dave says, FA Cup was just second-string teams normally. And he's right. I mean, the big boys only start putting their full-strength teams out when it's the quarter semi-finals, didn't they? Well, semi-finals. I wouldn't even say the quarters, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Kingfisher, hello, Kingfisher. Please like and subscribe, says Kingfisher, thank you. David Walker says, ticket office is card only 2, apparently. Jim N says, one Stoke game in a couple of weeks is too many. Never mind more or less in 3 in a row. Mm-hmm. David Walker says, Stoke is at home next round. So, even if it was at home, I don't think Sunderland would have attracted much crowd against Cardiff, would they?
No.
John Ruddock, hello John, he says, the FA Cup was finished years ago thanks to Premier League and the Champions League, and that's what you've said, Davey.
Yeah, definitely.
SJ says, replays scrapped to benefit the bigger teams. Can't have them playing too many games now, can we? That was
Jurgen Klopp complaining a couple of years ago, can you remember?
Yes.
Complaining about all these players were getting injured and tired because they're playing too many games.
And when you look at it in the 80s, the 70s and 60s and stuff, they couldn't wait to get on.
Used to play. The FA Cup third round used to be played in snow, didn't it, every year?
Aye, it did, aye. Well, the orange ball.
Aye.
So was there not some sort of a Champions League in the 70s and 80s then, Dave? I can't remember.
No, it was a European Cup, wasn't it?
Was it the same trophy, though?
I don't know. But no, I'm not sure about the same trophy. It's just a totally different format. There was no like group games and groups. It was just a knockout. European Cup knockout, like 32 teams.
It's a shame.
It's knockout straight away from the first round.
Janet says, I want to hear Gordon is alive from Davey. Well, he's going to do it if we get promoted.
If we get promoted, I'll do a full show and a Brian Blessed accent.
Aye, he'll even wear the outfit that Brian Blessed wore the Flash Gordon as the Birdman with his wings and everything. Derek UK says, not going to get on now. He says, I've got to go. Disagree with most of what you guys have said. He says, we'll see you later. Yeah, you're entitled to disagree, Derek. That's what it's all about. It's a shame you couldn't get on, but I don't know why. But you're certainly welcome, mate. The Packer Andrew says, when do you think we will be back in the Premiership, or do you think we will be in this position until next year? Ooh, well, we thought we would lose and touch out off the top 2, didn't we? A few weeks ago, and now all of a sudden that's right back on. So things can change quick in this division.
We've got a big month coming up, haven't we? We've got like Burnley. Then in a couple of weeks' time after that, we've got Middlesbrough. And then we've got Leeds.
We've got Plymouth.
Plymouth. And then if we can stay where we are now, 2 or 3 points in it, on the 8th of February, we're the only team that's playing in the top 4. So that will be a chance for us to get to the top.
We must, now I say this with caution, right? We must put the lesser teams, the lower teams in the bottom end of the table, we must put them to bed.
Well, we play Watford on the 8th, Cabby, and Leeds, Burnley and Sheffield United are all in the FA Cup. So that would be a chance for us to get 3 points on them lot, and it could put us up.
Oh, absolutely. I'm telling you now, they've noticed Sunderland, the likes of Sheffield, Leeds and Burnley, because I've been on the Leeds forums and their live chats and stuff, and they're
Burnley there's a lad in the Burnley one, he thinks Sunderland will win the league.
They're concerned about us, Davey.
Aye, they are. I tell you what, all these other teams in the Championship love what.
Yeah. Jerry says he's a con. I don't know who you're on about there. You're on about Pavida? Janet's laughing there. Pixel Rich says, question lads, FA Cup related. He says, what happened to the Cup Winners' Cup? Memory fails me.
Well, it's called the Europa now, isn't it?
Is that called the Europa? Same trophy, just different name?
Yeah, it's either the Europa or the Conference.
Right, that could be that.
That's a Cup Winners' Cup, that new. There was the First Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup. That was the last trophy Newcastle won 100 years ago.
D. Hall says, felt a bit sorry for our goalkeeper, Matty Young. Salford City lost 8-0 to Manchester City.
He had no chance for any of the goals, did he?
No. Andrew Moore says, Davey, Wenger started the too many games whinging. John Ruddock says, should make the FA Cup for Championship down over no Premier League teams. I know, I mean, I've thought of that as well. It's like, well, why don't they just have the FA Cup for the Premier League teams below? But it's the Premier League teams that the little teams rely on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
We've already got one of them competitions just for the low teams, haven't we?
We have. And that's to get them to Wembley, isn't it?
That's the one we won, wasn't it? The Pizza Cup?
The Papa John's one, that's it.
Papa John's, aye.
Colin Major says, we'll hold you to that, Davey. Pixel Rich, he says, Pixel Rich says, Davey just answered my question. Yeah, the European knocks out for the Cup Winners' Cup. Cheers, mate. Packer Andrew says, do you think we will beat all the teams you have just mentioned? I mean, I would even take a draw at Burnley, would you?
Oh, definitely. There's going to be, Cabby, between now and in the next 20 games, there's going to be loads of ups and downs, but that the same apply for Leeds, Burnley and Sheffield United. We just need to keep in there. Keep in amongst it.
Would it be disastrous if we lost Friday?
Well, it wouldn't be nice, but it wouldn't be disastrous. It wouldn't say, oh, that's it, all done. No, because anybody can get beat off anybody and anybody can beat anybody. We just need to keep in the argument as long as we can, and then when we've got everybody back, I don't think there'll be anybody stronger than us come March, April and May.
Is Leeds and Burnley and Sheffield United still got to play each other in the league again?
Yeah, well, they've all got to play each other.
Well, there we go.
Exactly halfway through the season, haven't they? So everybody's still got each other to play at least once.
Right, we've got Burnley to play once and we've got Leeds to play at their bit.
Yeah, we've finished with Sheffield United.
We have. And I don't...
Leeds will have Burnley to play, Burnley will have Leeds to play, Burnley will have Sheffield to play, Leeds will have Sheffield to play.
I've got out to fee you playing at Ellen Road.
No. I've got out to fee you playing anybody, Cabby.
No.
I think anybody of them top four could beat each other on any given day.
SJ says, hope we sign a striker before Friday because we won't get many chances against Burnley. Solid defence, we need a striker who can put away these chances we create. Stephen Martin says, if we don't go up this season, we must go all out for promotion next season. That's a total different ball game.
Well, I think the club's going for it this season, to be honest.
Yeah.
That was a statement signing where that ends all the fee that we are going for it this season. Otherwise, why would they pull that £2 million out just for 4 months?
I've never known Sunderland to get a signing like that done so early in the transfer window.
No.
Even Sky Sports News were shocked. They said, "Oh, is this transfer deadline day or something?" They said.
And to pay all that wages.
I know. I'm just rattling through these last few messages, Davey. Jerry says, "Yes, I was on about Pavida. What a contract he's taken the PISS." The Packer Andrew says, who have we got and are we at home? No, we are away to Burnley, Packer, this Friday. Pixel says, let's just not lose at Burnley. I take a draw. Defeat won't be a disaster though. Kingfisher says, thanks for the sub, Packer Acker. Colin Major, great show, lads. See you later, Flash.
Well, the next one's Monday because we're playing on Tuesday night. Do they know that?
Have we got a show this Thursday?
I'm thinking it's Friday, man. Right. Oh, Thursday.
Are you wanting to do a show Thursday? So do you want to just leave it till next Monday? It's up to yourself.
Next Monday, because we've got a game on the Tuesday.
Right.
Play Derby County next Tuesday.
So we'll be back next Monday. We usually do a Monday and a Friday, don't we? But there's a game on Friday, so we'll leave it this week, eh?
Yeah, we'll talk about the game on Monday, on Friday's game. And we'll preview Tuesday's game.
Yeah, we always beat higher up teams. It's the lower teams that thwart us, says Janet. Kingfisher says, thanks for the show, guys. Have a good one. Please like and subscribe. Derek says, Cabby, if you've still got my WhatsApp number, give me a call when you have time, mate. Yeah, I will sort something out. We will beat 2-0. So, quickly, Davey, what's your predictions then before we're gone? For Friday.
Right. Well, me head says 1-1, but my heart says 2-1. Isidore and Patrick Roberts with the winner.
I'm going to go for 0-0.
Aye, I can see it being 0-0, like.
Two good teams cancelling each other out, but
yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. Packer says 3-1 Sunderland. Thanks, lads. Love it, says Pixel. John Ruddick says 2-0. And I believe that's Dogwalkie's time, Davey. Yeah.
Cheers, boys. Had a great show. See you next time.
It's been cracking. Thanks a lot, Davey, for your time, mate.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. And there we go. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. It's been a massive show tonight. There's been some great views. Loads of people watching. Thanks very much for making this channel grow and this show grow. And yeah, we will see you very, very soon. Derek says 1-0 Burnley. Is it 1 Burnley? 1 beat Burnley, says 1-1, says SJ. Andrew says 3-1-2. See you next time, see Andrew. Yeah, absolutely. So what's coming up next on the show? Well, I'll be doing daily videos anyway, because there's always news because of all these transfer rumours and whatnot's happening. Then, of course, there's the live watch along and commentary for the Burnley match on Friday. So I will say thanks everybody for tuning in. Couldn't do the show without you guys, so enjoy the rest of your Monday night, and we'll catch you later. Toodaloo.